Welcome back. It's now time for Data Point. We're looking at the university lecturers striking numbers. Of course, it's been 44 days since the 17th of September when the lecturer strike started. Let's take a look at the numbers, starting with this enrollment in these universities according to the Commission for University Education. The learners that were in public universities were 469,688, which is about 75% of the entire student population in public universities. There's another 10,700 excuse me, who are in public university constituent colleges, accounting to 1.7%. Now, for those learners that were in private universities, you're talking about 144,000, which is about 23% of the class. So you can see the majority of 76.7% are students that are affected by the lecturer strike going on in the country. This is data according to the Commission for University Education in 2024. Let's take a look at what else has happened, because the difference between that data and now is the KCSE cohort of 2024, when more than 900,000 sat the examination, 244,000 plus are Kenyan citizens who scored C+ and above. But when it came to the placement, about 162,000 are students that were assigned to public universities. Understandably, these are learners who should have joined university between the month of May and the month of September, meaning they might be affected by the strike being in their first semester or second semester. So then the next other thing that we look at is information from the Ministry of Education, which shows that there are different categories of universities at the moment and how they've been affected by the lecturer strike. 12 universities, the Ministry of Education says, have not had teaching during the strike. That is not teaching. Those universities, when you look at the student population, according to the Commission for University Education, cater for 215,000 learners, which is some 45% of the entire university population in terms of students. 13 universities account for partial teaching, or institutions that are conducting partial teaching. Some lessons are attended to, some are not. They are talking about student population of 158,000. That is about 33% of the entire university population. And then there are some 17 universities and constituent colleges where you find full teaching going on, but it only accounts for 22% of the class, because only 103,000 of students are in those institutions. So we're talking about some of those in the universities, but let's focus on those key universities where no education or no teaching has been going on for the past more than 40 days. Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology has a student population of 44,000. No teaching has been going on. University of Nairobi is the second in terms of student population at 41,000, no teaching going on. Maseno University, the latest numbers are 28,000 students, no teaching going on. Egerton University, 20,620, no teaching going on. Moi University, 17,000 students, no teaching going on in those institutions, according to the Ministry of Education. Now, the next category is for institutions where you find partial teaching. For instance, Kenyatta University, which with a population of 36,000 students, has been having partial teaching. The University of Eldoret, 17,805 is the student population. KCU University, 16,905 student population. And the Technical University of Kenya at 13,600. These are part of the institutions that have had partial teaching going on. But then there are those institutions that have not been affected by the lecturer strike, and full teaching has been going on, according to the Ministry of Education. They include Chuka, Masinda Muliro, Kirinyaga University, and the Open University. Of course, Open University, a new institution with only about 866 students, most of them learning in distance learning arrangement. For Chuka University with 16,000, and of course Masinda Muliro 24,000. This is some of the universities that the ministry says there has been a full teaching going on. The next item that we look at is the programs. According to the Commission for University Education, majority of the programs or majority of the students in these institutions are pursuing bachelor's degrees. So this is the first degree for these learners at 92%. So that tells you that majority of the learners affected are the young people below the ages of 25, between 17 and 25, the learners that are affected in those institutions. For master's programs, you're talking about 40,959, meaning in the country, it's only 40,000, just over 40,000 of Kenyans that are undertaking these programs in public institutions. Then doctorate programs programs. We are talking about 8,666 students that account for 1.3% of the entire student population in the universities. And then there's postgraduate diploma at 1,423, converting to just 0.2%. So these are the learners affected at different levels based on where they're admitted, and of course in regards to what the Ministry of Education is reporting as partial teaching, full teaching, or not teaching. Finally, the lecturers that are in these institutions, or the academic staff that are in the public universities and constituent colleges, is just about 10,730. Of course, the total academic staff in the country is more than 15,000, but the balance of that from 10,730 would be in private institutions, that is private universities and private constituent colleges. So you can see that more than 2/3 would be in the public institutions, and that's just how the numbers are looking. Of course, we're waiting to hear from the Ministry of Education on, as well as the lecturers themselves with their unions, as they hold a meeting to consult with their members on whether they should call off the strike or what happens based on the conversations they've had with the Ministry of Education or the government officers. And that's data point for this week.